Before we get to the video clip, Noam Chomsky has a critical perspective on leadership, particularly regarding powerful figures. Here are some key points to consider. Chomsky aligns himself with anarchist and socialist ideologies. He views concentrated power with suspicion, believing it often serves elite interests rather than the public good. He argues that powerful institutions, including governments and media, manipulate public opinion to maintain their control. Now, off to this wonderful clip of Noam Chomsky and following some other key points of his on leadership.
Suppose somebody has a good idea. So suppose we're trying to organize something and you have a good idea. Okay, then for that, and we just think, yeah, it's a great idea. Okay, for that moment, you're a leader. Okay, maybe tomorrow he has a good idea, so he'll be the leader. If we designate somebody to be the leader, we're going to follow them no matter what they say, then we're in trouble. If you want to look up to people, you should look up to, say, the SNCC workers. People who are really doing the work in the South. I mean, they had hard, bitter experiences, not just them, but plenty of black activists and others. Some white people joined them. I mean, that's what you should really look up to. As soon as you start worshiping leaders, you're in trouble. Why? Because they're going to take power and institute systems of authority and domination. Now what you're after is freedom and independence. I mean, leaders should be representatives of the community, temporarily given positions of a degree of authority under popular control. Take Martin Luther King, who was a very important figure. But he was kind of riding a wave of popular activism. If it hadn't been for SNCC workers in the South and freedom riders and black students sitting in at the lunch counters and mass public demonstrations, there would be no Martin Luther King. I mean, there'd be a king, but nobody'd be listening to him. What he did was recognized to be dangerous by power systems. If you take a look at the history of how King is regarded and treated, it's very illuminating. I mean, on Martin Luther King Day, there's lots of elaborate rhetoric, which typically ends in 1963 with, I have a dream. Because that's kind of tolerable to systems of power and domination. Maybe they don't particularly like it, but they can accept it. On the other hand, what about what he did right after that?
Poor People's Movement.
Poor People's Movement. Organizing, going to work to support a sanitation workers' strike. That's not there. In fact, he gave another I Have a Dream speech the night before he was assassinated. But that's not quoted. As for celebrities, I think, there's a lot of glorification there's a kind of a celebrity culture which is magnified by media and so on, so you're supposed to, I just saw, somebody just sent me a copy of a poll in the Reader's Digest of the most trusted people in America. Number one is Tom Hanks. Trusted for what? Because, he played in a movie, But that's a celebrity culture. Actually, I'm in that list somewhere, but it's...
Is it just Sour Grapes, then, that Tom Hanks beat you out?
Sour Grapes, yeah, he's ahead of me, right? Yeah. If I can contribute something, okay, but I'm by no means a celebrity and wouldn't want to be. Unfortunately, can't be. I don't have the characteristics. In general, I'd like to see people think for themselves and not succumb to irrational pressures. On the other hand, I've seen I've seen it happen in ways that I certainly respect. So take again civil rights demonstrations. I remember, just to pick one personal experience, and there have been many, days in the Deep South, Jackson, Mississippi. It happened to be major civil rights demonstration during the day. A lot of violence, a lot of brutal police violence, people getting beaten bloody, you know. In the evening, going to a black church where there was singing hymns and songs and nothing especially religious about it for most of the people, but it built a sense of community and solidarity and support on emotional grounds, which enabled people to go on for tomorrow. I have criticisms if people are not thinking for themselves, but are being swayed by emotional appeals that they have not thought through themselves properly. Because in the case I mentioned, the emotional appeal was there, but people also knew what they were doing and had decided why they're going to do it. And there are a lot of other cases like that. I've seen them in so-called indigenous communities and working class communities all over the place.
Chomsky emphasizes citizen activism over blind trust in leaders. He believes people should be active participants in shaping society, not passive followers. Ideal leadership, for Chomsky, would prioritize human needs and encourage popular participation. He emphasizes leaders who are accountable to the public good. Well, I hope you liked the video and subscribe. If you wish to join the channel to become a member, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, now take care and bye-bye.